I know the guy's going to be 35, but I would bring Mike Yastrzemski back on a one-year deal. 12, $13 million, mutual option for 27. I mean, what he's meant to this team is significant. Now, you would still need to get the right side platoon for him because he is a platoon corner outfielder at this point in his career. But clearly, when he's deployed against right-handed pitching, I mean, there's not many dudes better right now. One Royal way back at it here on Kansas City Sports Network. I'm Joel Penfield. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Make sure to like, rate, subscribe, review on all platforms. Hit those notification bells so you know when our episode goes live. I'm recording here on Tuesday night, about 10 minutes after the Royals to finish the second game of the series against Texas Rangers. The Royals have taken the first two games of this series. The boys are playing some ball right now. As of recording, they are now only 2.5 games out of a wild card spot. Everything is still right there in front of this team. They needed a split at least in this series to continue to keep pace and stack some wins. And they're doing that right now, 2.5 out with, I think, Boston still in progress as I'm recording, and Cleveland just started against the Diamondbacks. So they might be able to pick up another half game. There's still an outside chance of that before they go and pick it up tomorrow on Wednesday against the Rangers. This show, as always, brought to you by Emprise Bank, member FDIC, our partners in Possible here at Kansas City Sports Network. Can't thank them enough for all the support they've given us over the last couple of seasons, sponsoring this show. Do also want to shout out Kansas City Strength and Conditioning. If you have a baseball or softball player in the area, needing a place to train, get better as you head into fall ball in the winter, that is a place to go. So be sure to go check them out. They were, one of the original sponsors on this show. Still have a good relationship with them. So, do want to shout them out as well, as they're deserving of it. Let's go ahead and dive into these game recaps here. The Royals win on Monday, 4-3, and starting it off, Mike Yastrzemski, leadoff home run, his third since moving to the leadoff spot, which is already tied for the most in a month by a Royal. He probably will have an opportunity to tie the franchise record for most in a season with 5. Like I would not be shocked if he finds a way to run into 2 more in the first inning with the way he's been swinging the bat lately. And since he's moved to the leadoff spot, so this is going after the game on Monday, so without tonight's stats included, 219, 366, 563 slash, the 148 weighted runs created plus, and a 344 ISO. So, I mean, he's hitting the ball with authority and doing damage when he does make contact. Because you look at just the raw batting average. If that's the only stat you look at, you're like, it's not great. But he's walking near 20% of the time and striking out at 12%. That's a really good number. And he's doing damage when he makes contact. Of the 7 hits that he had coming into the game tonight, 2 doubles and 3 home runs. So 5 of his 7 hits are for extra bases and 3 get over the wall. It's been the table setter and the tone setter that this team has needed. That, unfortunately, Jonathan India was not. But you had a left-handed hitter against right-handed pitching, in there, and he's done a great job of working pitches and, working counts, but also being aggressive and not just taking pitches for the sake of taking them. He gets a 3-1 count against Jack Leiter. With Bobby on deck, he's not going to walk him, right? Like he's going to throw you a fastball, just get me over, hope that you take it. And instead, Yaz just turns on it. He did that against Sean Burke on Saturday. He gets the fastball over and he just pours another one in. Bam, I'm going to turn on it instead of going down 0-2 and just trying to see pitches and working at bat. So I think he strikes a very good balance of trying to work a count, see pitches, kind of do the prototypical leadoff hitter stuff, but also look to do damage. And he strikes that balance incredibly well and has been a major reason why this offense has turned the corner over the last few weeks since they made this move. It's paid dividends for this team. Michael Walker was solid. Not, just again, steady as they come. He's going to get you into the six, give up three or less, and keep it moving. They hit him around a little bit. He scattered 9 hits in 5 2/3. He gave up a couple of runs. He gave up one in the second to Jonah Heim, and then in the sixth, I believe it was with 2 outs, Evan Carter singled, and that's at that point it's 4-2, and that's where they go to the bullpen. Schreiber gets out of the sixth inning, and he's still in line for the win. But in that second inning was probably the biggest play of the game, especially considering it was a 4-3 victory. Uh, After he gives up to Jonah Heim, Josh Smith comes up. Jock Peterson's on third. Fly ball to John Rave, and they throw him out at home. Double play, gets out of the inning, no more damage. Now, I thought he was safe, personally, but we've also seen the Royals get absolutely screwed by replay multiple times this year. So maybe this was kind of the ball don't lie moment that they needed one to come back in the other direction. Underrated part of that was Luke Maile making a really good short hop pick to get the tag. That is not an easy play for a catcher because of how thick the glove is. To be able to kind of stick a short hop like that is not easy. That's why oftentimes when you see those throws to home, it's a lot longer of a hop because it's just easier for them to get to. But the throw, it landed in the dirt, not even in the grass. It was a great throw from like a distance perspective from Ray, but it gave a tricky hop for Maile, but he made the play. The reason Maile was in, Salvador Perez has missed the last couple of games with an illness. I think he's going to be okay. They said he was available off the bench yesterday and today, so I'd imagine he's going to be in the lineup on Wednesday. We'll have to see, but they've managed to make do without him, and Maile is a solid backup option for this team. And Vinny is getting rolling again. He had obviously the great series against the Nationals, weird series against the White Sox, getting sick, tough game on Sunday, but turns around and he gets an inside fastball from Leiter and hits just a laser beam to right field, 23rd home run of the year. And that put him up 3-1. Michael comes up in the fifth, turns on a sinker that was in off the plate. Was it a sinker or a slider? Regardless, whatever it was in off the plate. It was a slider that didn't break at all. And he just duck hooks it down the line for a home run. And he's stayed hot and continued to hit well. And these guys are firing on all cylinders right now offensively, even if it's not, they're putting out 9-10 runs. Like the at-bats are solid. Guys are in the right spot. They're coming through situationally when they need it, when they really, really need it in a big spot. So a lot to like from this game. Ursig, he gives up one, but I thought he pitched pretty well. One of the hits that he gave up, it was 99 at the top of the zone, and I think it was Langford just Tommy hawked it out there. Okay, that's a good spot. The pitch he made to Tellez, it was an RBI ground out. Michael made a great pick, but that was the only run. And then Estevez gets 3 fly balls and gets out of the inning. 32 saves for him, which is a career high. 32 of 38 on the year. I know it may not be the sexiest, most comfy setup sometimes to call Estevez, but certainly he's still one of the better closers in baseball and has been this year. Of the going into, after last night, 64 wins, he saved half of them. I think that says a lot about maybe the state of the offense, that he has to come in and save all of these games. That he saved 50% of the games that the Royals have played. He's had to come in and save because the offensive output hasn't been great. But wins are wins, right? And at this point of the year, they don't ask how, they ask how many. And the Royals are continuing to put themselves in position to continue to fight for one of these wild card spots. And when you win games like this, it's a little bit different. I look at these wins differently than I do the White Sox, the Nationals. You almost got to grade those on a curve because those teams are not very good. And to go 5-1 against those teams, you took advantage of playing a bad team. That's important. But the Rangers are in a very similar spot to you, right around 500, still fighting, still grinding for a wild card spot. Really good pitching staff, not a great offense. So it's one of those maybe styles makes fights sort of things. And the Royals pitching has taken advantage of a subpar, not very great offense that the Texas Rangers have, and scratch enough runs across against a good pitching staff, and you find a way to win a game. And it was a good tone setter for the series. You'll get that first one with Waka on the mound, one of your steadiest guys throughout this season. And it started the series on a high note. even if it may not have been the prettiest game in the world, you find a way to win a game. And that's what this team has found a way to do here basically since the calendar turned to August. And they're been one of the better teams since the All-Star break. And a lot of that is a testament to the guys that JJ and company brought in to this team to supplement the offense, supplement the rotation. And now we'll see where we go. Well, we'll recap the Tuesday game here right after this.
Looking for tickets for your next event? Tickets for Less is your #1 source. Save big on every purchase when you use promo code KCSN at ticketsforless.com.
I'm Brett Goodwin, one of the owners of The Learning Tree. The Learning Tree is a neighborhood toy store in Prairie Village, Kansas. This has been here in this location since 2000s, and my husband Alan and I purchased the store in 2023. Alan and I grew up in families where we've always wanted to have a business together. Alan grew up, for instance, his parents had a jewelry store. I worked in a local toy store here in Prairie Village when I was growing up. When this opportunity happened in 2023, we knew right away we wanted to contact them and pursue the store. We wouldn't have been able to get the store without the team at Emprise Bank. From the day we contacted them, they knew what we needed to do, which was very helpful. I would absolutely recommend the team at Emprise Bank to anyone looking to secure a business. We worked with Emprise from day one. They were extremely helpful. They were always great resources. We talk to them frequently. They know the area. They're very friendly. We know who we're going to talk with, and they know what we need to do. We hope we'll see you at the Learning Tree.
Folks, nothing beats hanging out with the boys on a hot summer day and watching some baseball. And the simplest way that you all can get in on the action is to download the Pick 6 app from DraftKings. It is crazy simple. Just pick more or less on the stats for 2 or more of your favorite players, and boom, you're in the mix for big cash prizes. And the best part is, Pick 6 is available right here in Missouri. Don't miss out on the fun. Don't settle for a smaller payout. Switch to Pick 6, and right now, new customers can get $25 in bonus picks with their first deposit of $5. Here's what you got to do. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now and then use code KCSN. That's code KCSN for new customers to get $25 in bonus picks with their first deposit of $5. Better payouts, bigger wins, only with Pick 6 from DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 18 plus. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Void where prohibited. New customers only. Minimum $5 deposit. Bonus picks expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
Sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Everybody like, rate, subscribe, review on all audio platforms as well. And we will be live on Thursday, time to be determined. Hoping 8:30, maybe earlier, but I will send it out before we get there. But if you are, whenever we are live, come through, hang out, be a part of the conversation. Hopefully we're talking about a sweep on Thursday. Royals win tonight 5-2, and it looked a little dicey there for a bit. Merrill Kelly pitched. I thought he pitched really well. He only gives up 2 hits in 6 innings, but those 2 hits were both home runs. Vinny Pasquantino gets him in the first inning on another laser, 24 home runs. Vinny might hit 30 home runs this year, and I never saw that in his profile. Like, I didn't think that would ever be a possibility for him. Not that he was incapable, but I looked at him as more of a 15 to 20 homer guy with like 30 doubles, and be kind of like if you're an OG, like Royals Farm Report listener from years ago, we talked about him as like a left-handed Billy Butler. The guy that was going to be more hit than power, more doubles than homers. But he's turned himself into a legitimate power threat for this team, as something that I didn't expect coming into the year, and especially early in the year when no one was really hitting home runs for this team. But he's found it, and healthy Vinny Pasquantino is one of the better hitters in the league. Like, when he is hot, there's not many guys that just get ripping white hot like Vinny Pasquantino can. And he is rolling now after really scuffling out of the All-Star break. The last week and a half, he's been a lot better. He's hitting the ball for power. He's coming through in bigger spots. And when he's going, this offense really, really gets going. Mike Sharp's getting another home run. his 13th on the year, tied the game in the sixth inning when it kind of looked like one of those nights where, man, how much longer is the offense going to just sputter, or is this going to be one of those nights where they just don't show up? And we've seen those nights for swaths of the season. And maybe it's a prisoner of the moment take. I tweeted it out. And maybe it'll be something that we talk about at the end of the year, kind of an off-season primer, the kind of throw on our GM hat and think about what the Royals should do. I know the guy's going to be 35, but I would bring Mike Yastrzemski back on a one-year deal. $12, $13 million, mutual option for 27. What he's meant to this team is significant. Now, you would still need to get the right side platoon for him because he is a platoon corner outfielder at this point in his career. But clearly, when he's deployed against right-handed pitching, there's not many dudes better right now for this particular team. And when he's back to this offense, it's been a massive difference putting him at the top of the order, letting him table set for Bobby and Vinny. No coincidence that the offense has gotten going since they moved him up to the leadoff spot. And Jonathan India has done well, in the 6-7 spot for, the majority of this season. He gets the go-ahead RBI tonight in a very unfortunate way. In the 7th against Hobie Milner, who's not an easy, at least to start the inning. Vinny doubles, and then Michael gets an infield single. Grichuk gets an infield single, so it's bases loaded, nobody out. They get Milner out. Cole Winn comes in, and the first pitch he throws to Jonathan India hits it. After Jonathan India already fouled the ball off of a rather sensitive area. That guy just is a ball magnet. It's ridiculous. But weird way to get, to get one, but it gives them the lead. With still Rave and Isbell to come. Rave strikes out, and then Isbell, this is where I got a little worried about what this, momentum is a thing, when it's not something that's not necessarily something you can quantify. But he taps one to the first baseman, and it's 3-2-3 double play, and you're out of the innings. Isbell didn't bust it up the line. If he just hustles up the line, you still have bases loaded, 2 outs with Yastrzemski coming up against a righty, and they can't go to another batter. I think they might have been able to go to another lefty because it was the third batter. But who knows if they do that? I don't know if they'd want to burn their bullpen like that. It's a tough spot, and not necessarily one that you want to get to. It's not ideal at all. But that admittedly worried me a little bit. But Angel Serpa does a great job. He gets out of the inning. Bobby comes up, and I'll spend a little more time on Seth Lugo after this. I'm just focused on the offense to start. Bobby comes up in the 8th inning. They need a homer. They need a run, just for a little bit more comfort. Estevez is likely burned. He had thrown 3 or 4 days. It would have been 3 straight days for Ursig with a sketchy back. They needed length out of somebody. They needed just a couple more runs. Yaz walks, and Bobby goes over the third wall in dead center field for his 100th career home run. Been waiting a while for that home run. Felt like Ryan Lefebvre's brought it up probably every at-bat for the last couple of days. I don't know if it was necessarily something Bobby was thinking about, but certainly, a huge hit there. It puts you up 3, a little bit of weight off of Bobby's shoulders now to get to that milestone. Some stats on that. In the last 95 years in baseball, he is now he has the 6th most home runs by a primary catcher through his age 25 season, or by a shortstop. Goodness. Only Hanley Ramirez, Carlos Correa, Francisco Lindor, Cal Ripken Jr., and Alex Rodriguez have more. Alex Rodriguez had 241 by the time he turned 25, which is absolutely insane. Bobby's also one of only 4 players in Major League history to have 100 home runs and 100 stolen bases in their first 4 seasons. Julio Rodriguez did it earlier this year. Darryl Strawberry, Barry Bonds, and Bobby Witt Jr. Pretty good company, especially those middle 2 names for what they did, early on in their career. I mean, Bobby's a fantastic player. I was happy to see that this was, something he was able to accomplish. It helps the Royals get a win. John Schreiber gets the save. You get out of here. The big story to me out of this game was a bounce back from Seth Lugo. The last couple of starts were really bad, and I know that I'm preaching to the choir if you're listening to this. Like, I know you guys have the same opinion, but I wanted to see, okay, how is he going to respond? This is a lineup that is inconsistent, but it's got some solid players in it. What's he going to be able to do? How is he going to be able to battle this lineup? Is he going to be able to get some swing in this? Is he going to be able to, not let them just sell out for contact? Show enough swing in this to kind of figure stuff out. Well, he gets into the 7th inning in this game, only gives up 2 runs. Those 2 runs were both on solo home runs. One in the first inning to Corey Seager. Now, the context of that was it was a 3-1 count. The previous pitch he threw, the entire ball was in the strike zone, called the ball. Difference between a 2-2 and 3-1 as a pitcher, the numbers completely swing in the hitter's favor. He throws a sinker away to trying to get back in the zone and not have a 2-out walk. And Seager's one of the best power hitting shortstops in the league. And he parks it. It's like, okay. But I thought he commanded the ball a lot better tonight. Of his 102 pitches, I believe 60 were strikes. That's about in line with his season numbers, strike percentage and all that. First pitch strikes were much better. Only had the 2 walks. He struck out 5. So he was able to get some swing and miss tonight. I'm getting up the Savant numbers right now so I can kind of dive in a little further. I wish I'd pulled them up sooner, but you guys know how I roll on this show. But the other thing that I thought was more encouraging was the command, and not necessarily like in the zone, but where is he missing? Because that was, to me, the most jarring part of these last couple of starts is the misses were all over the place. Normally, like even if command's not great, like he's still around the strike zone. Like it's not bad. Like the charts, it's within a pretty decent margin of the plate. And so it's like, okay, that's fine. Try some of that's chase, some of that's just I kind of missed that pitch, but not all over the place and spraying it all over. There was a lot less of that tonight. He was in and around the zone for the most part. I thought it was a really good start from him and a good bounce back. It was a very heavy fastball game from him. Fastball, curveball, cutter. He really didn't throw a ton of the crazy amount of secondaries. Like it was 8 slurs, 8 changeups, 8 sliders, 7 sinkers, 5. So a lot of fastball, curve, cutter from him in this game. So kind of pared the repertoire down a little bit rather than have a crazy, percentage. He kind of seems like he found the 3 pitches that were really working for him and was able to get through. Only 6 swings and misses in this game, but they only had 1 in the start against the Nationals. I don't know how many he had in the start against the Twins, but it wasn't many there either. A lot of called strikes, though. He had 23 called strikes out of 102 pitches. Called strike whip percentage of being 28 is not awesome, but a lot of that is just due to the lack of whiff. But when he's able to kind of mix and match and he's able to get ahead, it allows him to use those secondaries a little more and he's not getting beat around. Early in the count with guys, he's kind of hunting windows like we talked about in the last episode or one of the last episodes after it starts. I thought it was much better. It's a good bounce back start for him. Gets the ERA back down to like 3. I think it's like 3.7, 3.73, which is still a pretty good spot to be. Like anything below 4 for him is good. So we'll see. But they need Seth Lugo to be much better down the stretch of this season. And this was a good step back in the right direction. For him to get back on track and be the guy that we know he can be. 2 more games in this series. News broke from the Rangers, the beat writer. I want to make sure I give them credit. Sorry, I got to scroll down just a little bit. It was Kennedy Landry, who's the Rangers beat writer for MLB.com. She said that the Rangers are going to skip Jacob deGrom's start tomorrow due to shoulder fatigue. He went back to Texas and everything checked out. This would be a workload management thing. That is a major bullet dodge by the Royals. DeGrom has been awesome recently. And so that is a huge, miss for Kansas City as they have a chance to take the series tomorrow with Noah Cameron on the mound. With it being a TBD, it could end up being an impromptu bullpen game. It's, a spot start from somebody they bring up from AAA. So we'll see. But with Noah Cameron on the mound and not having to go opposite Jacob deGrom, you feel good about the chances. And then on Thursday, it's Lorenzen versus Patrick Corbin. So we'll see if Lorenzen's able to get a little further into the game. That'll be your kind of lefty platoon lineup. So, you'll see Grichuk starting over Yaz. Maybe Tolbert gets a start. And we'll see what this team has. But they have a chance to win 3 of 4 here. If they don't slip up, I mean, they're right now 4 over 500 for the first time since before Memorial Day. They have a chance to get 5 or 6 here. And that's before you won't play the Tigers. And if you're rip-roaring hot going into Detroit, I mean, we know how baseball works, man. You can rip off some games here. You're not going to miss Skubal because he pitched tonight, but this is a really good spot for Kansas City to be. And to be able to get a split out of this at a minimum, a solid homestand. Out of 10 games, you've only lost 1 so far. This is what they needed to do. They needed to take advantage of this stretch of games, and they've done that so far. A lot of credit to them. I'm going to give a toast again to Mike Yastrzemski and Seth Lugo for the last couple of games. Vinny Pasquantino deserves some credit as well. Leave your toast games in the comments here if you're watching on YouTube. I appreciate all the support here. We'll be live on Thursday. Not exactly sure what time yet. It could be earlier in the afternoon. If not, it'll still be the normal 8:30, but we got to confirm that. But once we have that confirmed, we'll tweet that out. And I hope you guys come and join me. Talk about the last 2 games of this series. Take care, everyone. Go Royals. Boys are playing some ball.